I am going to try to document a little bit more. This would be episode 1, I think. Well, I don't think that, I know that. And so just kind of want to catch up, recap some things I've done. It's been about 2 years, almost 2 years exactly since I left my teaching job. The first idea was to run a tutoring business. What I did for that was I had actually had a running business or a business entity based on a website that I was starting to build called IUPUI. And IUPUI was short-sighted. It was not well thought out. I really wasn't the person to do it. Really great idea, but there were so many things that I needed help executing on that I just didn't have the funding to do that. So I left that entity intact and I started teaching because it was a teaching website. I started teaching, doing my tutoring through that. So then I put a little bit of money into some logo design, kind of ran everything through that, started up a Facebook page, started sharing some content on there. Started working with the schools a little bit as far as getting my name on their tutoring list, and wasn't getting a lot of clients. I had a few clients that I had been working with, and hey, there's my son over there, and it just wasn't, for me, it wasn't a workable model. I learned a lot. I learned that there were a lot of times that your students, the people you're working with, and I kind of knew this going into it, that the problems were going to be so much greater than just academic, that there's a lot of problems in between the parent and the student themselves. I know I'm on video. I'm talking about my tutoring business. This is Noah. And Noah, you are 4. And that might be another.
And I wreck walls.
And you wreck walls, yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm talking a little bit about is when I left my job and I went to teaching. I went to doing some tutoring and stuff. So I'm going to be sharing that with people on YouTube, which is a website. So let's see, what was I saying? I was talking about, so then my brother Nathan decided to leave his job at the Indiana University, IUPUI in Indianapolis, where he was offering services to schools that would allow them to have tutoring programs. So it was really related to what we were already doing, what I was already doing, but maybe at a higher level, allow me to work with schools a little bit more closely. And so that's kind of, we're in the middle of that right now. I'm finding that there's some weaknesses there with my approach. And a big part of it that has been missing is the network. You know, I don't have that network of teachers, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I spent very little time in the teaching industry, and I kind of always had a chip on my shoulder as a teacher. I didn't like the system. I don't like the system, and so I didn't really develop some deeper relationships that I would have needed to launch that successfully. So now I'm spending a lot of time just making sure, just building those relationships and learning how to build that network. Started shifting a lot of focus onto networking online, and starting to look for some local networking events too. I think I've done just 2 of those. So that's something I need to do more of. And I think one of the most exciting things about the networking that I've been doing is that I've been, I started with a very low number. Like I said, I did not build this network the way that I needed to. So like on LinkedIn, I had 103 connections, I think, back in December of last year. On Twitter, I had at that time, I think I had maybe 112 followers. And I can't remember exactly how I got there. I wish I would have documented that a little bit better. So now it's April, so 5 months later, I'm up to, I can't remember the last numbers. I'll have to check that later. Like 500 followers on Twitter, and then 460 connections on LinkedIn. So I've grown that network substantially, putting out content almost every day. Talking with people about building a brand and building a presence and understanding what it means to be a brand. And so I think that's it for episode 1. That catches you up a little bit. There's a lot of other things going on, but I think that's a good start for episode 1. Part of this process of starting a new business, revamping, thinking about how I am building something is doing some purging, I think. So if you look in the garage, there's a lot of junk that Kristin and I have kept over the years. 10 years married this May, and so it's time to just get rid of some of this stuff and think a little bit more practically about what we're doing. And I think that it will feel relaxing. Every time I walk through this garage, I feel frustrated about how messy it is. So just purging some stuff. Right now I'm actually trying to fit got these old fishing rods. I'm not even a fisherman. I don't even know where these came from. I kept thinking I can use these for something, and I'm not even sure where they came from. So I'm getting rid of them and just purging some stuff. So yeah, I should feel relaxed a little bit more after I get that done. I am taking a video, but you don't have to be close to me if you don't want to. So this is our backyard that kind of operates as a playground and a really a workspace for our school. So we have this area right here is a big part of the digging area where they can explore dirt and bricks and bring some of their toys and just kind of build and construct. So a lot of opportunities for learning gross motor skills and a little bit of fine motor skills where we, gripping, anything from gripping like a shovel, and building a lot of that strength that kids need as they grow up. This is another little area that we have, and Noah's following me right now. So as you can see, a lot of the areas are they look lived in. They're not neat. We use it all the time. We kind of use this to walk around sometimes, and sometimes we walk around and try to reach up. I think eventually this will be a nice tree for a tree house, but I'm not sure. And so there's a lot of climbing that goes around out here, and just recently we took down the we had a fort that was back here, and that we put together on Thanksgiving. We had some family come over, and we put that together with our one of our nephews, and actually a couple nephews and nieces. But there were I think there were 3 of them that really worked on that. And we took that wood pile apart. So when I think about a play space that our school is going to have, I really envision something like this. You know, so much of it is child created and child maintained. Now, what are the consequences of that? It's messy. It's, you know, there's kind of stuff everywhere. And we have to decide, you know, as homeowners, like how much of this, there's a process of that. We have to decide how much of it is okay and how much of it is sort of outside of our rules. Right now, it's pretty free out here. We have some more strict rules inside of as far as how toys must be put away at the end of the day. But out here, we don't have a lot of those rules yet. And we're still thinking about that, what that looks like. We certainly don't want to annoy our neighbors and get them to, you know, make them frustrated with us. So we're thinking about that, what it means to have some boundaries in the yard, have some rules about what can be out there. But that's a glimpse of what I see our school being like, and at least some of the outdoor space, just so much of what we want the students to be creating stuff and sort of creating a world. So one thing I'll show you here, is so we have this sled that has been turned into, Noah, do you want to talk about what this is? There used to be an old tree here before we bought the house, so that was ripped up, and the grass did not grow on it last summer. I didn't actually plant any seed. I might plant some seed this summer. So Anna and Noah have filled this up with dirt, and they've used it to sort of create, I don't know, what would you call it, Noah?
I don't know.
It's just like, it's like its own little place. So that's one thing that, you know, we haven't helped them with that. They got the dirt from the dirt's place. They had permission to do that, and they're sort of creating, almost looks like a little aquarium or something. So again, a lot of this stuff looks kind of messy. Most people would look at it and say, man, I would never let my kids do that. And you know, I guess there's always a fear that we're letting them do too much, but we also see that a lot of fruit to it too. So we see that they're creative, they're independent, and we have a few rules that they need to follow in our house, and then a lot of open opportunities there. Oh yeah, the flowers are full in bloom. Those look pretty yellow.
Yeah. Dude, the chocolate up this porch.
Working on spring cleaning today. You never know what you're gonna come across. This is a bit of a relic now. Not quite a relic. So I went to the School of Education back in 2009, or I think I got into the actual School of Education around 2000, right at 2010. Graduated 2012, I want to say, in May, and I had my first teaching job actually before I graduated, so that was fantastic. But the School of Education, what a powerful thing. It brings back so many memories. I have some relationships still from that to this day. Some of those instructors really set me on this path. Really, I mean, they didn't encourage me to go on this path, but without knowing it, they they are part of the reason they introduced me to the idea of constructivism, that a child constructs their understanding of the world. And so we're looking at close to 8 years now, so it'll be 10 years after I graduate school that we're establishing our own school, and it wouldn't be possible without the years that I spent there. So definitely holding on to this. It's a little worse for the wear, but you can still see my name, and I kind of wish it had a date on there too. That would be cool, but yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this and remember the people who helped me and helped me understand something new in my life. Thinking about what some of the challenges would be for some of the teachers at our school, as I was watching my wife spend time with our kids outside. And so I'm gonna see if I can get her on video to talk a little bit about what she thinks some of those challenges are, as she's the one who's really spending time with the kids day in and day out and really being the one who kind of facilitates their learning. So let's see if I can go out there and get her take on this. So I'm out here with our unschooling, self-directed mastermind of the Mott household. Kristin really does the day in and day out of the time with our kids, and so I was thinking, for her, what would be, working in a school that's self-directed, what do you think would be some of the challenges that the teachers would really have, or the staff might really have, starting in a school like that?
Well, some of the challenges that I have every day is trying to balance between my mindset that's still kind of stuck in the traditional school system where, we should be doing alphabet by now, we should be reading, we should be doing this, we should be doing simple math, and so trying to let go of that because our 4-year-old is doing it already. I mean, all of that without me having to force him or teach him anything. But then I also go the other way sometimes, where I'm terrified to buy a workbook or something that's quote unquote educational, or something that you would typically see in the classroom, even when he wants it. Like, we printed off a sheet of sight words the other day because he saw it on the computer. It was in the shape of a car, and that's what he wanted. And so sometimes I feel like, no, we can't have anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing structured, yeah.
But if that's what he wants, there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally fine. My mindset is probably the hardest thing that I have to deal with on a daily basis, because I'm constantly doubting myself and things that I'm doing.
I guess teachers and other schools kind of have some struggles too, just doubting their approach. But yeah, I think that is something that teachers in a self-directed academy would definitely struggle with. So just got done talking with Kristin about her perspectives on what some of the struggles would be in a self-directed academy as teachers. And then we just started talking a little bit about the brand and how I don't want to be one of those people who, we start this school, and then I talk about this school on Twitter, and I talk about this school on Facebook, and then I talk about this school on Instagram. Like, that's not the only thing that I have to offer. Some of the things that I have to offer are just me, just my personality. People, I've met people who we enjoy good conversations together, and I want to have those conversations on social media because it's not always happening out in person, and I can't talk to people in Cuba and Australia and Japan in person. So it's like, that's a great place to build a relationship. But what is not a great place for is spamming people. And so, Chris, the reason I wanted to shoot this little recap is because Kristin was talking about how she's deleted people for doing that. So for people who all of a sudden they start selling makeup, and it's like, that's all they ever post about. And it's like, I became friends with you because you brought value to my life as a friend, and now all you are is makeup. And it's like, she doesn't wear makeup, so not that she has anything wrong with it, but she doesn't wear it. So it's like, why would she want you in your feed if all you're pushing is one product? Now, that doesn't mean that there's a problem with telling people about what you do. I mean, we want to know those kinds of things, but if that's all that you're producing, then that can be pretty frustrating. All right, this is not the kind of weather you would be expecting me to be wearing a stocking cap, but, and I'm not even sure how well this thing fits anymore. So again, spring cleaning, and I got this hat from my dad, let's see, back in probably 2002 maybe, and started wearing it. I walked into a guitar shop, IRC Music, and got my job wearing this hat. So I don't know what to say about that, but this hat has been through a lot with me. I've played shows wearing it. It's Peerless Electric. I think my dad got it at like a union conference. He's an electrician, so yeah, back in maybe, I don't know, 2001, 2002, I got this hat from him for free, and found it in my garage again. So return of the hat. So going on 15 years of having this, and it looks like it's still in pretty good condition. So I think I'm gonna keep this out and see if I can find some more opportunities to wear it as I go about my day.